Hey everyone, Chris here with another video. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I am about to finish up a project that I've been working on. I've been working on a 1955 Topps All-American football set, and I am down to needing 2 cards for that. Both of them shouldn't be too hard to get, although one is a short print, but they're both pretty inexpensive, so I'm going to be finishing that up pretty soon. And I need another project to start on. And I've actually been wanting to do a hockey set, a vintage hockey set, and build it from scratch, not having any of the cards that are in the set, and then kind of document it through video on YouTube. Some of the things I look for, just in general, when I'm looking for cards that I like to collect, I like the eye appeal. I like kind of the artistic value and the colors on the card, as well as the historical significance of the set and the players. So I kind of took all those things into consideration, and what I came up with is I came up with the fact that I couldn't limit it to two, or to one, I'm sorry, and I have decided to do two. So the first one was actually a recommendation by friend of the card community, Terry, TJ Mac Vintage Cards. It's a set I'd actually been looking at, but it's the 1954-55 Parkhurst set. Now, some of the reasons that I decided to go with this set as one of the sets was this was the first year that Topps produced a hockey set. So Parkhurst, they seem to really kind of upgrade the quality and design of their cards this year. I love the player selection. There's several legends in this set, like Gordie Howe, Rocket Richard, Jean Beliveau, Terry Sawchuk, as well as tons of other favorites like Dickie Moore, Boom Boom Jeffrion, Alex Del Vecchio, and Red Kelly, and just a lot of other just interesting players that I think are going to be very interesting to learn more about. It's a 100-card set, so not too bad. And there are some expensive cards or a little more expensive cards in there, but overall it's not too bad. So I definitely think it's doable. One of the other things that I really liked about this is it features all 6 teams, whereas the top set only has teams from the U.S. And the thing that originally drew me to this set was the All-Star cards. And the All-Star cards, I think, and I don't have any to show you, but the All-Star cards, they have a player picture against this white background, and they have this large star on the card, red for the first team All-Star and blue for the second. And I really just love the way those looked, and that was the first thing that kind of drew me to this set. Now, in general, the photo quality is just amazing. I mean, it shows in-game photography with all the photos that were kind of believed to be taken during games at historical Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, where the Parkhurst factory was. I think there's 2 exceptions, card numbers 97 and 100, which were taken during Stanley Cup games between Detroit and Montreal. Now, card numbers 89 through 100 are actually in action cards. And the backs, actually, this is one of the other things that really drew me to this set. The backs of these action cards have these detailed descriptions of what's going on in that particular play. And the other thing, there are actually 3 cards of those action cards that have Jacques Laperriere on them. Now, his actual official rookie card would not be until the next year, but he does have 3 cards that he's pictured on these action cards. And now, speaking of the backs, the backs, they just have great biographical write-ups on the players that give a lot of detail and are very interesting. And there are also some with what they call lucky premium backs. And instead of the player bios, they have these lucky premium backs where you could send the cards in along with cash for other prizes. So those are a little more scarce. Actually, I guess they're probably a lot more scarce than the regular backs. And then lastly, I just think it's got a nice crop of rookies, with the only expensive one being Johnny Bower, and that card really isn't too crazy. So it's just a set that I think I could really get excited about working on. I love the design of it. I love the players in it. So that's one that I think I'll enjoy. Now, the second one, this is a set that was a little more intimidating for me, and I thought about not doing it. And I actually have some cards from this set. So I'm not starting it from scratch, but I don't know, it gave me a little bit of a head start, I guess. And it's actually the vintage hockey set that I think is the best looking set out there. And the set that I'm also going to try and complete and start working on is the 1964-65 Topps Tall Boy set. Now, this first card, let me just talk about some of the things that I really like about this set first. It is the first tall boy set of any sport that was ever produced, so I think that's pretty cool. It's the first Topps hockey set that includes all 6 of the hockey teams that were playing then. It's a 110 card set, and it was distributed in 2 different series, with the second 55 cards being a little more difficult to find than the first 55. Now, as far as design goes, I love the background colors, and just in general, I like the design. But the first 55 cards in the first series seem to be all full body or 3/4 body shots. And then the second series seem to all be portrait shots. There's 22 short prints in this set, so 22 of the 110 cards are short prints. Each series was printed on a 99 card sheet with 9 rows and 11 cards per row. Now, the first rows are identical to rows 5 through 8, and then the last row are the short printed cards. So there were half the number of short print cards as the regular cards that were printed. Some of the other things I like about this set, it's just loaded with great players from that era. I really like all the players. All the teams are represented, again, because it was the first year that Topps included all 6 teams. And I love the design of the All-Star cards, which are the last 6 cards in the set. So this first card is card number 51 of Ed Westfall. It is a short print card. He played for the Boston Bruins, and he was a 4-time All-Star, 2-time Stanley Cup champion, and he later played for the expansion New York Islanders in 1972, and he scored the first goal in that team's history. The next card we have is another Bruin, and again, I really like the way this blue background looks on these Bruin cards. It just really makes the cards pop to me. This is card number 16. He's pictured here with the Bruins, but he only played 1 season for them, but won 3 Stanley Cups with the Montreal Canadiens, and then also won 1 with the Chicago Blackhawks in 1961. He was a 5-time All-Star. This is a Hall of Fame coach right here. This is card number 45, Punch Imlach, who there's a lot I could say about him. He's a very interesting character. I'm trying to save time a little bit here, but he was a hard-nosed, tough coach who led Toronto to 4 Stanley Cup championships, and he was the first GM and coach for the expansion Buffalo Sabres. This next card is card number 37, Dave Ballen. He played on 2 Stanley Cup championship teams, and he assisted Henri Richard on the cup-winning goal in 1966. He ended up retiring when he was diagnosed with MS. You have card number 51 of Jacques Laperriere. He was a Hall of Famer, 5-time All-Star, 6-time Stanley Cup winner as a player, and he also was on the staff for 2 as an assistant. This next card, card number 8, is a short print of Gary Bergman. Card number 9, Doug Barkley. He played 11 years in the NHL, and his career ended in 1966 when he was battling Doug Moens for a puck on the blue line, and Moens tried to lift his stick up, but missed and caught Barkley in his eye, and that ended his career. A card of Parker McDonald of the Detroit Red Wings. That's card number 11. And then this is a second series card of Hall of Famer Ted Lindsay. He was nicknamed Terrible Ted. In spite of his small size, he was one of the meanest, most competitive players to ever play. 9-time All-Star, 4-time Stanley Cup winner. And in 1950, after they won the Stanley Cup, he picked it up and skated around the ice with it, thus starting that tradition of doing that. Number 96 is another Hall of Famer, Bill Gatsby. He was the leading scorer among defensemen when he retired, and unfortunately he played on some not very good teams and never played on a Stanley Cup winner. And we have card number 30 of John Mckenzie, who is probably more well known for his time in Boston where he won 2 Stanley Cups. And then the last card that I have is card number 20, which is a short print of Bobby Hull. Luckily, I do have one of the more expensive cards in the set, which is always nice. I'm not going to say too much about him. A lot of people know who Bobby Hull is. One of the all-time greats. Trying to keep this video to a reasonable time. And that's all I have. I am going to document both of these sets as I continue to work on them. Hopefully you'll enjoy that. Hopefully follow me along with that. And we'll learn about this set as we go. Take care, and we'll see you next time.